What if I told you that time in Elbaf doesn't work like it does anywhere else in the One Piece world? What if Luffy and the Straw Hats set foot on the shores of the Giant Kingdom, only to discover that entire years have passed in what feels like mere days? Or worse, what if, once they enter, they can never leave? Sounds like a bad vacation package, right? Visit Elbaf, age 50 years in 5 minutes. But trust me, this is more than just a bad deal for the Straw Hats. If this theory holds any weight, time itself could be the most terrifying force they'll face in the final saga of One Piece.
Before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more amazing content. Your support helps us grow and bring you the best. Also, a quick warning, this video contains spoilers ahead, so if you're not caught up, proceed at your own risk. Let's get started.
Before we jump into the abyss of theories, let's address the big question. Why does anyone suspect that time behaves differently in Elbaf? Let's put the pieces together, and by the end of this, I promise you'll look at Elbaf in an entirely new light. Elbaf, as we all know, is heavily inspired by Norse mythology. In those ancient stories, there's a realm called Jotunheim, the land of giants, where time doesn't flow like it does in our world. It's slow, distorted, sometimes moving in ways that defy logic. Does that sound familiar yet? Here's where it gets eerie. We've already seen time behave strangely in the world of One Piece. Tortolan's soul fruit, and Big Mom's ability to manipulate time, and the Florian Triangle, where sailors lose track of time entirely. Could it be that Elbaf holds a similar, if not more extreme, anomaly? But here's where things go from strange to downright spine-chilling. What if this time distortion is somehow tied to the Void Century? Or maybe, just maybe, the giants are just really bad at keeping track of time. I mean, Dory and Roji spent a century fighting over a fish. But let's be real. There's something bigger at play here. All right, let's get serious. If Elbaf really is home to some kind of time anomaly, what could be causing it? Let's explore the 3 most chilling possibilities. Theory 1. An ancient weapon or lost technology. First up, Elbaf could be hiding an ancient weapon or lost technology that controls time itself. Remember how the world government has been desperately trying to erase all knowledge of the Void Century? What if Elbaf is keeping the key to understanding those 800 lost years? But the only way to uncover it is to step into a warped, time-manipulating zone. And before you argue, but surely someone would have noticed. Think about this. What if the giants themselves don't even perceive the distortion? To them, everything moves at a normal pace. It's the outsiders, the ones who aren't giants, who experience time racing by. Imagine that. Walking into a land where everything feels off. Theory 2. A connection to Uranus. Next up. What if Elbaf is connected to Uranus, the most mysterious ancient weapon? We've speculated that Uranus could control the sky, storms, or even time itself. Imagine if Elbaf is the place where Uranus is sealed away. And this time, distortion is a byproduct of its immense power. Or maybe, just maybe, the distortion is the reason Uranus was hidden in Elbaf in the first place. A place where time is in chaos, keeping the weapon locked away from prying eyes. Theory 3. A secret kept by Shanks. And here's the wildest theory of them all. What if Shanks knows about this anomaly? We know he has deep ties to Elbaf. But what if his real reason for keeping certain things from Luffy is that he's aware of Elbaf's true nature? What if Luffy steps foot on that land, only to discover that time doesn't just move differently. It might trap him, change him, or worse, keep him from ever returning the same. Or what if time in Elbaf flows so slowly that Luffy arrives, only to realize, when he leaves, the rest of the world has already moved on without him? Imagine Luffy walking out, only to find that decades have passed, and the world has changed beyond recognition. So, let's explore what the consequences might be if this theory turns out to be true. What could it mean for the Straw Hats, for the final saga, for the entire world? Consequence 1. Luffy's journey gets delayed. Imagine this scenario. Luffy and his crew sail to Elbaf, thinking it's just another adventure. But the moment they step foot on that land, everything changes. The outside world, already caught up in the chaos. The final war, in full swing. The Red Line, destroyed. And the balance of power in the world, completely flipped on its head. Luffy and the crew may step into Elbaf, but when they leave, they'll find that the world they knew is gone. Consequence 2, a connection to Imu. And what if? And this is a big what if. Imu already knows about the time distortion in Elbaf. What if they're planning to use it to rewrite history, to manipulate the flow of time and ensure that no one ever challenges their rule? Could Elbaf hold the key to a future that only Imu can control? Consequence 3, the last Straw Hat sacrifice. And here's the most terrifying possibility of all. What if one of the Straw Hats is forced to stay behind, trapped in Elbaf forever, to protect a secret too dangerous for the world to ever know? Who could it be? Zoro? Usopp? Or even Luffy himself? Or maybe Chopper? Because, let's be real, he'd totally mess up and accidentally get stuck. Oh no, I tripped and now I'm a grandpa. Classic Chopper. But what do you think? Could Elbaf hold the key to reshaping the final saga of One Piece? Could time itself be the ultimate antagonist? Drop your wildest theories in the comments below. And if you thought this theory was insane, just wait until you hear about the destruction of the Red Line. Because if Elbaf's time distortion is real, then the world is heading toward a catastrophe like no one has ever seen before. Click here to watch the next video before time runs out.